Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome and thanks for joining me today. In today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I think is really important for using different sounds over a blues progression. Okay, so this kind of is going to require a couple of different things. First of all, you're going to have to know how you want to approach your blues ahead of time. Okay, so what I mean by that is most people, let's say I'm in the key of C. I'm just going with C today. So most folks know that the simplest approach to any blues is good old C minor pentatonic scale. Now you might know that as box 1. It's a very common pattern that most of us know. You might know something like the 4-note solo pattern or the house pattern, or you might know any of the other 5 boxes. There's a lot of different ways to play a C minor pentatonic scale. That's not super important right now, as long as you know at least one of them. That'll do the job. That's the simplest, least sophisticated way. I call it level 1 soloing. You can't possibly be wrong. You play the C minor blues scale the whole time, you can't possibly be wrong. So you just play the notes. You don't really have to think too hard. You're just playing notes because none of them can be wrong, okay? A lot of people then get to what I consider level 2 soloing, where they start to mix in the major blues sound. So what that means is we now have to pay attention to the chords. Because when the 1 chord is going on, when the C chord is going on, we can play the minor still, right? We can always go back to level 1 soloing. But now we have the option of playing the major blues sound. Okay, so now I'm playing a major blues sound. Now, this is where kind of the crux of today's lesson comes, because I am using a root note here to sort of anchor between the major and the minor sounds. And that's really what I want to demonstrate. If I play a minor blues sound from here, right? And this is the C on the 8th fret of the 1st string. That's where I end up. Now I'm doing what I call sort of the full range or full position version of the scale. So I'm playing all of the notes. I go up from here as high as I can go before I have to actually change positions. And then I go down the scale as high as I can, or as low as I can go before I have to change the position. And then I come back to the root. Okay? Now, if I were to play the major blues scale from here, again, full position, I get what is commonly called box 2. Okay, but so notice that for the minor version, I have a root, I have a flat 3rd, a root, a flat 7th, a 4th, a 5th, a 4th, a flatted 3rd, and a root. Then there's that flat 5 blue note. Well, the major blues scale has different notes. The flat 3 is the blue note, but it has a 2, it has a 6, right? It has a major 3rd. There's different notes. However, they all have a root. Okay? All scales have a root. So you could be getting really out there. You could be using C Lydian dominant, C half all diminished, C harmonic minor, C whatever weird scale you want to come up with. It's still got a C in it. Okay? That's important. If you can learn your sounds, your scales around the root note will allow you to pivot between those sounds. Okay, and that's what I want to point out. Because let's say that I'm playing over the one chord. Now I want to go minor. Now I want to go major. Now I want to go minor. Okay, so I'm using this note and I'm going back and forth. Major. Now I'm not doing the full range of the position. I don't like to solo down here on the lower two strings a whole lot. But for the purposes of practicing, it's probably worth it. Those last couple of chords, right, those are a little bit tricky. But what I'm doing is I'm just thinking chord, one. And from here I'm going to play the major blues sound. And then hits this beat one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Time for the four chord, right? I counted through 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Bar 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. Back to the one chord. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is the 5 chord. 2, 3, 4, 4 chord. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so at the first beat of each new chord, I strike the chord. And I that's sort of where I recalibrate what scale I'm going to be in. So I hit that one chord, and that's major blues. 1. So I'm thinking that root. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's now it's time for the 4 chord. We've played 4 bars of the 12-bar blues, right? 1, and I've recalibrated. I'm looking at that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and that takes me all the way through those 2 bars. 1, so I hit the 1 chord again because that's where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 5 chord. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4 chord. 2, 3, 4, 1. So I could go back to the major sound. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's sort of the simplest way to do that. And what I'm doing again is I'm switching between the 2 sounds. Every time I hit a new chord, that gives me a chance to find that root note, that pivot in my mind. Plus it's a root. You know, you keep coming back to that, it's not going to sound bad. So it's a great way to start to get really comfortable switching between different sounds on a single root. And I could do that anywhere. I could do it. fancier with it and have some fun with little half steps and stuff like that, it's all good. The main thing, the two main things really, are keeping track of the 12-bar blues in your head. That's a lot harder than you might think. So don't do this with a jam track, because that's part of the fun, is you really want to keep track of where you are in the progression at all times. And that's a skill that a lot of people struggle with. So it's worth taking your time to do that. Even if you have to go very slowly, it's worth it. Okay? So hope that makes sense. Try it out for yourself. Have some fun. As always, if you do try it and you do like it and it does something good for you, and you think if you know friends that might also enjoy it, please share it with them. Please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know how it goes for you. And I will leave some links near this video for all the usual stuff. Again, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.